Hey Hatchlings, is Draconic Wicca racist? Yeah, well, kinda. And if you're new here, Assalamu alaikum, merry meet, and welcome back to your daily dose of DragonFaether. My name is Azura DragonFaether, the Draconic Priestess, and today I will be your guide on how Draconic Wicca, yes, is racist. However, how we reformed Draconic Wicca within the Draconian Reformation to be utilized by anyone from any faith, practice, creed, or religion, and how the problematic roots of Draconic Wicca are steeped in some pretty dark history. And just a quick disclaimer here. A lot of people use the term Draconic Wicca in their own unique ways that may differ from the ways that we describe Draconic Wicca in today's video, which is totally understandable, normal, and valid. So again, no hate to anyone who is different than we are, but in today's episode, we need to talk about how Draconic Wicca is a little racist. So let's just unpack this, right? We're just gonna speed run this one because it's really boring, actually. And unfortunately, within the late 90s and beginning truly within the 1980s, as well as mostly popularized through the internet, including myself, Draconic Wicca was a cultural phenomenon. And ultimately, it evolved uniquely in its own way. Some people referring to it originally as Draconian Wicca, though the way that we popularized it here within the Hatchling clan and as I founded it is not affiliated with Draconianism. However, we also have books that were, shout out to DJ Conway, critical in the founding of Draconic Wicca, but were not exclusively Draconic Wicca. So how does the racism fall into Draconic Wicca? Well, first we need to look at the DJ Conway books, as this was truly the ultimate beginning of allowing us to think of what dragon magic may have looked like within a high magic ritual, particularly one that is very remnant from the high magic ritual that we can trace back to Aleister Crowley, as well as within Wicca and Gerald Gardner, which we'll get into in a second. However, when it comes to Draconic Wicca specifically, the books Dancing with Dragons and Mystical Dragon Magic by DJ Conway are arguably where this essentially dragon gold rush began, and where we find even our channel irrevocably, is that the word? Irrevocably tied with this movement, because Draconic Wicca originally started as the combination of dragons within a Wiccan framework, and many still do identify and practice this way today. However, this is kind of racist, mostly because of the Wiccan roots and the problematic nature of the DJ Conway books. We unfortunately have a little bit of misinformation there, as well as some appropriation, including the name Fafnir for the fire dragon guardian, the elemental dragon guardian of fire, some may call it. And unfortunately, Fafnir is not a elemental dragon guardian of fire. It is a name that comes from Norse mythology as a dwarf that was turned into a dragon through greed. It's a good story, definitely recommend looking more into that, but it's not, again, the dragon guardian of fire. And ultimately, Draconic Wicca truly took off with the videos that I made originally very back in the day with the channel, and unfortunately there was still a little bit of some appropriation and misinformation in those videos, specifically about the dragon gods. The dragon gods that I mentioned in my earlier videos, again, were blurring the lines between fantasy and factual historical relevance, okay? And this is where it also gets kind of racist, because a lot of the dragon names, arguably again, Fafnir and Tiamat and Leviathan are probably the most common ones. You also see Lucifer, Hecate, Lilith get pulled into it too. They're not specifically dragons or serpentine depictions of deities, but they have ties with that type of iconography or symbolism. I digress. The root part of the issue is that these dragons within myth often get appropriated out of their original cultural context and plugged into Draconic Wicca as the representation for a god and a goddess, for example, which is extremely just problematic. which is where you get that racist reputation, right? And furthermore, when it comes to the study of the dragons in particular, some people may not do enough of a thorough study and where those lines between like new age type of mythology, media, pop culture, and storytelling kind of blurs the line with actual like mythology and archaeology and etymology and anthropology and all of that good stuff in academia. So there is a kind of a little bit of a gray area that some people do kind of fall into a little little pothole there. But this also just is exacerbated by the problem with Wicca, which is again essentially a Frankenstein religion that was created by Gerald Gardner and unfortunately takes a bunch of a bunch of holiday to put into a religion, almost like the Wiccan Wheel of the Year, which all of these like amazing festivals like Samhain or Imbolc or Lugnasa, for example, they're beautiful rites in their own. They're just not like Wiccan within history. They're from like Indo-European folklore and indigenous people of those places. So it's important to also just keep that in mind when engaging with Draconic Wicca and any of the like Sabbats, which again has like ties to, demonizing the Sabbath and connecting Jewish people to witches as well. There's some weird racism in this, okay? And so it's important to just be aware of how these things can kind of hide in plain sight sometimes, and how, most of the Wiccan structure within high magic and ritual was appropriated from rituals and groups and covens that Gerald sat in with, as well as, again, there's influences from Aleister Crowley and just the like Western occultist type of umbrella and branch. And so these clashing together with the lack of historical clarification on the dragon mythology themselves, as well as the Frankenstein version of Wicca within Gerald Gardner's religion, these are where we get the racist reputation for Draconic Wicca. Okay, so what do we do about that? So really and truly, we just tried and true stay very close to the etymology of words. And when we study the etymology of the words Draconic and the words Wicca, we see with Draconic that the word means, of course, a large reptile or serpentine being, but also it means linguistically with the etymology from Greek drakon, meaning, you guessed it, to see clearly, one with a piercing gaze, or one who observes, right? But when we study the etymology of Wicca, it actually comes from the Old Anglo-Saxon term that means male sorcerer, or also the root word that eventually evolved into modern day witch. You'll hear it pronounced witcha as well within that that transformation before we got Wicca as a religion. So Wicca, the term itself, was never actually a religion. It was actually just a description type of word, and you'll also hear people using the word like Wicca or wicker to explain like turning something or changing something. This is a huge part of the etymology with Wicca, though some academics may argue it's not like the most prevalent or the most like prominent etymological root of the word, but we also have a lot of Old English sayings around like Wicca or wick. Specifically, I know that I had an old like lady that I used to encounter when I was really young at some of these events that I went to within like pagan rituals or within Laserium too. Like there was like, you have to wicker it around, something like that, and it meant to change the state of the problem, basically. So these are where we look to when we're like, how do we make Draconic Wicca not racist anymore? Because this is problematic, right? Like the religion Wicca itself is racist, as well as the books have a lot of racist undertones, as well as, it's just racist to appropriate people's mythology into something new, for a new way of being, into new types of spiritual identities, religious ideologies, without the consent of the previous cultures that these myths or beings may come from, as well as having no historical precedent following that. It's just rude. It's rude behavior, okay? So we leave all that behind when we engage with Draconic Wicca within the Hatchling Clan network and within the Dragon Academia archives, though we do talk about the history of it before the Draconian Reformation. So we focus on, very simply, bending and changing through observation, making sure we see things clearly and have a piercing gaze, as well as shout out to those giant reptiles who we love very much, as well as their serpentine forms, because it's really something that is for everyone. It's about reclaiming and reforming language as well as practices as we gain new information and as we learn and do decolonization work. It's incredibly important to understand that language evolves as we do in real time, especially with the internet. So thank you so much for all of the hatchlings just worried about just the stuff they've heard about Wicca being racist, the questions you've had, as well as the problematic nature of Draconic Wicca itself. And yeah, it wasn't really ever truly like a full doctrine anywhere, right? Like my videos were helped popularize the practice, but we really made the system that is like publicly available and free for you to like practice it if you don't want to engage with it, affiliated with like Gerald Gardnerian Wicca. And unfortunately, that is going to be the prominent version you're going to find online, is some version of that and some version of like Western dragon occultism, and that's its own thing, you know what I mean? But here in the Hatchling Clan Network, we really have nothing to do with that anymore. We reformed our practices and we've moved on because it's just problematic and we don't want to deal with it, and it's unfortunate for everybody involved. So I know this was a really spicy one, honestly. But I did want to say thank you to, again, all the hatchlings for asking about why is this a thing? Why am I hearing about this? Okay, yeah, it's a really good question. But until next time, I will see you very soon. But stay geeky chicky and freaky. Ding, little hatchlings. But Allah Hafiz, blessed be and Amin. And please follow me so we don't get lost. And I'll see you tonight, my darlings.